is the Screw the People Bankers Convention, where they're plotting against all of you. So.
I think they'd go to $15 a month, don't you? I mean, they'll do anything we tell them to, won't they?
I think we need to.
Definitely the saps.
Okay.
Hey, aren't you Lloyd Blankfein?
Oh, you recognized me. Most people do.
Oh, we're well known because we're so good at making money.
We're financial innovators, you know. CDO squared, Hudson, Timberwolf, short selling.
Oh, and imagine, investors bought these things even though we bet against them.
We knew Timberwolf was one shitty deal, but we sure made a lot of money on it. Oh, we're so good. We helped bring down AIG, you know, the biggest insurance company in the world. Then we got billions and billions from TARP and federal loans. I love it. We couldn't lose. We even got two top guys to be the Treasury Secretary. Bob Rubin, Hank Paulson, practically guaranteeing. And then when all that crap blew up, we'd be in gravy. So what can I do for you?
Well, thanks to you, I've lost everything I counted on. I thought my golden years were secure, but you advised me to invest in mortgage-backed securities, and I did. Meanwhile, you were betting they would blow up, and they did. You made billions while I lost my retirement funds. On top of that, because of the crash you caused, my home is worth half of what it was. Now I'm going to have to go back and work until I'm 80.
Oh, sorry for your loss, Grandma. But I'm doing God's work. When you invest, some people lose, some people win. You lost. I won. Now, hand your money over and get back to work.
Oh, this is sweet.
Are you my banker, Vikram Pundit?
Yes, I am Vikram, CEO of Citicorp. We at Citicorp negotiated more bailout money than any bank in the world! Except those greedy bastards at Bank of America. They got the same amount as we did, 45 billion with a B. The boys down at Lehman's were furious. Taxes? Talk to me about taxes. We don't pay taxes.
No way.
Let me tell you what the smart money does. You go out, you buy yourself a bevy of lobbyists, and you give them a boatload of money, and you send them to Washington to buy a gaggle of lame ducks. Lame ducks. Now the world may invest in Wall Street, but Wall Street invests in D.C.
Yes, they do.
Guaranteed high return, no risk, and perfectly legal. Now, my little penny morsel, how can I screw you today?
You are unbelievably creepy. But I'd just like to tell you that I graduated college 2 years ago, and due to constantly rising tuition, I'm now paying $500 a month for the next 20 years of my life on that tuition. On an education that might have been able to get me a job before you crashed the economy. But now I'm stuck unemployed for over 2 years, and you still expect your $500 a month for the next 20 years. So I'm confused why it is that you got bailed out, but I didn't.
Boy, read the sign. It's Citigroup, not Pittygroup. Hand it over, or your mother's house is mine!
Give it to him.
Excuse me, is Brian Moynihan here, CEO of Bad for America?
I am here, but
I never talk to people on foreclosing until the very last moment, so I'm not really paying attention to this rube. These are people that we like to foreclose without a lot of notice, and we use a lot of toxic mortgage-backed assets that we're trying to, kind of recoup. So when I get his mortgage back, I will then be able to get my money back from the insurer, Fannie Mae. I'll be whole, and then I get to sell the house for a profit. Yeah, that works for me. And my banking associates here, I have to brag to somebody. They thought I would be good with being one of the too big to fail banks. No, I needed to be in the service of my which robo-signs everybody out of their property and has been illegally inflating property prices all along.
Tell them, brother, tell them.
Yeah. Wait, Brian. I want to tell you about my story. Who is this, Ruth? My name is Ryan, and I'm doing the best I can in this terrible economy. My wife is serving 2 tours in Afghanistan. We've now fallen behind on our mortgage payments, and you, Bank of America, are trying to take our home. And the worst of all, you guys lost the note, you robo-signed the assignment of mortgage documents, and now I'm worried she'll have nothing to come home to. Please work with us so we can modify our loan and stay in our home. Don't talk to me about robo-signing. That hasn't been proved because I've been able to keep that kind of stuff out of court. Just because I own the biggest, crookedest countrywide where your mortgage was, doesn't mean that I'm going to let you keep your house because, hey, I can't make money that way. So, look at that tea.
There you go, Brian.
Yeah.
That's my guy. Gentlemen.
Yeah.
How are we today?
Very good.
Great to see you again. Excellent. Great to see you. Great to see you. Good to hear. Good to hear. Here you guys have been doing a lot of good stuff here, and I've also heard that you need a little bit of representation in Washington. Is that right? Is that right? All right. Well, I think that I'm fairly certain that I'll be able to, kind of grease the wheels a little for you. But of course, I'm gonna need you to get the ball rolling, if you know what I mean. So.
We know how that game's played, buddy.
Every month.
There we go. Grease them, honey. Grease them.
That's a lot of money. Don't spend it all on one senator.
Thank you, gentlemen. It's a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
God's work. You're doing God's work.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? You look really familiar. Yeah, weren't you on my staff a few years ago?
I was.
Yeah, you were a big help writing some of that banking legislation. Well, you know what? I'm running for a re-election this year, and I really need some money. You know how expensive that is to run negative TV ads and all that traveling and kissing babies and everything. That's really takes a lot of money. So, and not only that, but my committee is writing some banking legislation, and we could sure use your help with that.
Absolutely. Well, of course, as you know, of course, I do represent the CEOs and the executives of, the entire financial industry, and I'm sure that we'd be happy to, throw some campaign contributions your way, and sure that we could help you write the perfect piece of legislation. But, naturally, I am going to need you to throw some votes for our industry our way. Sure, you can do that, right? All right. Excellent. And you did, and of course, you did mention that you're running for office, and let me tell you, we would be happy to throw some hefty campaign contributions your way, but absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. No, don't think nothing of it, of course. But we will need a couple of things from you. You know how these things work. Most importantly, we are going to need to make sure that our management gets off completely scot-free for their fiscal exuberance. Of course. And I think it goes without saying that we want absolutely no regulation on our derivatives. Okay, all right, make sure. And one last tiny thing is, we do expect a bailout if we get into even the tiniest bit of trouble while we're gambling with the people's money. Now, can we?
Goes without saying.
So do we have a deal then?
Whoa!
Yeah,
That's how it works.
Right here.
Vote her out and impeach her.
Help yourself.
These banks are crooked.
Yay!
I've had it.
These banks are robbing us.
Down, down, down. We're gonna take you down, down, down. Close our accounts and take all you fat cats down. Breaking up is what we'll do. Don't take your funds away from me.
We will.
What you mean to fella, can't you see? My big fat bonus depends on you. Breaking up it just won't do. Remember when the days so long, push the economy and got the fools. We're both out and now we're screwed. Well, now we're breaking up with you. They say that breaking up is hard to do. Now I know that it's true. Don't say that this is the end. Instead of breaking up, I think that you should bail me out again. I beg of you, don't say goodbye. Got buried summers won't let us die. Don't think of what we put you through. Breaking up is hard to do. Down, doobie-doo, down, down. We're gonna take you down, doobie-doo, down, down. Close the house and take all you fat cats down. 'Cause breaking up is what we'll do. Thanks, everybody. I just want to say a couple of things. We had a lot of fun putting this together, but I do not want to make light of the real people that were affected in this way. We're laughing about it, but what's happening to people out there that were represented today by our brilliant cast is not funny, and it's not a laughing matter. That's why we're out here, really, to bring attention to this and to urge people to move your money out of the voracious banks and into credit unions and community banks. That's what we're here today to do. The bankers represent an entrenched system. I'm sure that their families love them, but they represent what's wrong in the financial industry now. Years and years of entrenched ways of thinking that lead them to behave the way that they do. So I just wanted to make that point. Also, if you'll bear with me for a second, I want to thank the people and introduce them that were so helpful in putting this little skit together today. Of course, Grania, who was my partner in crime, and she's amazing. I was gone all weekend, so this really felt to her. She also played the politician. Sam Fideli was Vikram Pandit. Holly Clevens with the Working Families Party, with the lobbyist. Mike Connolly was Brian Moynihan, Bank of America. The worst Diana Bollinger. From the Raging Grannies, amazing, and they also
also let us use their sound system, for which we're so grateful. And Ryan Acuff will take back the land. The Victor homeowner, Colin O'Malley, Metro Justice, thank you so much. And last but not least, our director, Kathy Castagna. Thank you so much.
And thank you to Melody Russo for coming up with this idea and helping us put it all together.
And Melody was the one that wrote the lyrics to the song, which I think is really wonderful. So give her a hand, please.